What in the world do lizard people like rougarou?
One possibility is this creation of a new massive class of useless people. Another possibility is the division of humankind into different biological castes, with the rich being upgraded into virtual gods and the poor being degraded to this level of useless people.
I feel
In your earbuds, smartwatch, and headset.
The newest way to monitor attention is through a device like this one.
And video games all have in common.
These earpods, much like the video you watched earlier, are earpods that can pick up brainwave activity and tell whether or not a person is paying attention or their mind is wandering.
This is what we're going to discuss in this video.
Now we see the creation of a new massive class of useless people. As computers become better and better in more and more fields, there is a distinct possibility that computers will outperform us.
In one experiment, Penn State researchers were able to show that by monitoring brainwave activity with AI in a factory setting, the robot could sense stress levels in the individual and change the speed with which they were giving tasks to the human, calibrating it so that rather than suffering from cognitive overload, it would bring it to levels of cognitive load.
In most tasks, and will make humans redundant. And then the big political and economic question of the 21st century will be, what do we need humans for? Or at least, what do we need so many humans for?
Do you have an answer in the book?
At present, the best guess we have is keep them happy with drugs and computer games. But this doesn't sound like a very appealing future.
Even wearable technology, I don't think is going to decode complex thought, but it is going to decode a lot more. And already, gamers have figured out, for example, while a person is wearing a headset, how to, prime a person through their brainwave activity to be able to decode their PIN number and their home address. So you don't have to have your full complex thought decoded to reveal your thoughts, right? It gets at what we think thought is.
And how do you decode somebody's PIN number? You flash a series of numbers and see how their brain reacts to them?
So you have recognition memory signals that are preconscious and subconscious, and this is part of why it's been used, for example, by governments to interrogate criminals.
How lizard people are using technology to get to know you better than you know yourself.
But we know it works both ways. The government has enormous power to shape the opinions and desires of the population, and this power only increases today with the new technologies of surveillance, mass surveillance, and social media, and so forth. So when the government can, the government is not just responsive to the will of the people, it can shape the will of the people.
That's what we're going to discuss in this video. Now, before we get started, here's what I need you to do. I need you to share this video. I'm telling you, it's going to be good. It's going to be good, MutherFluffer. It's going to be real good. And I want to address something real quick before I get off to the races. For some strange reason, when I say MutherFluffer, people's ears are hearing something different. I want to be clear with you. If your ears hear a curse word, then that's something wrong with you. Because I'm not cursing. I said MutherFluffer. Something wrong with your ears. You might want to go get them things checked out. Or you might want to check your heart to see what you're interpreting inside of your body. Because I ain't saying nothing but MutherFluffer. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only James Williams, Dark Waters, I'm back. And here's what I need you to understand. And somebody said, yo, DW, why you keep hitting me with this dude? This dude is disgusting. He's disgusting. I have to. It's important that you understand what's being said to you. It really is. Because if not, you don't get what's really going down out here in these streets. So I gotta hit you with old rougarou telling you exactly what he's gonna do, because he's the prophet of the lizard people. And so everything that this man says that they're gonna do, you gonna see that they're doing it. Now, hand clap. Congratulations. Klaus Schwab stepped down today from the World Economic Forum. I'm hoping that someone worse than him does not step into place. But you never know. We don't know what's going down out here in the streets. I want to caution you guys, the Birdman hand rub is really kicking off in the news. Everywhere you turn, I'm talking about that Birdman hand rub. You know what I'm talking about? Brrr. Get ready. Don't be a coward this time. Don't let them tell you what to do. And like I said, don't buy no whole bunch of toilet tissue, because that's going to be the obedience test. You got to test to see if you're listening and if you're scared enough to obey them. The last time we went through it, they told you, oh, we're going to have a run on toilet tissue. We might not have any toilet tissue. Everybody ran out and bought toilet tissue. That's how they knew they was ready to move y'all to phase number 2. We got them all going out and doing something that don't make
door aisles at full speed and then quickly start loading up their carts.
Within moments of this Costco opening, a sea of shoppers came back to this area where the water and paper goods are stored.
Our camera crews were allowed exclusive access inside the store before it opened. General Manager Thad Kalez says customers were waiting up to 3 hours for supplies to be restocked. So now some products are limited to 2 items each.
Right now there is a limit on paper goods, all tissues, paper towels, and water.
At checkout, hundreds of shoppers, some wearing...
You can wipe your behind with a napkin if you need to. You can use Charmin. You can use that Scotty towel, that paper towel out the kitchen if you had to. No, they got you running out buying boxes. So, understand, that's the obedience test that they're going to put you through to see if you are obedient. Now, that being said, let's get rolling on the video.
So the ambassador is hoping now that you can hear him 100,000% better, because his microphone was a little bit too airy before. Listen, now let's get down to business. Here's what I need you to understand. As the ambassador, the one and only Stankonia ambassador, also known as Dog Waters, government name James Williams, I be looking into things, but I be listening to what the lizards say, then I go look to see if they can do what they gonna say they gonna do. Because the way I see it is this way: if somebody tell you, hey bruh, I got an AK-47, I got a chopper, and I'm going to my car and I'm coming right back. Now you got 2 choices. You could try and run, but you ain't gonna outrun them bullets. Or you can run with him to that car and try and beat him to getting that chopper out the trunk. You understand what I'm saying? So I've run to the car. If you getting in the car, I'm getting in the car with you. It's all gun. It ain't your gun, it's our gun. We both getting our gun. You understand what I'm saying? And so I'm out here in these streets trying to get the gun with the people, trying to see what's going on. That's just how I see it. So I get to looking for the gun. Look left, look right. Oh boy. They got rocket launchers. They got grenades. They got javelins. They got all kind of stuff. Don't believe me? Don't believe me? Watch this. Now, everybody and their mama got smart devices. You got your smart watch. You got your earbuds that you put in. That's wireless Bluetooth earbuds. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, self, why in the world do I need some earbuds that ain't got no wire to them? You know what I'm saying? Like, why I need the wireless earbuds? Then I get to looking. Remember, Yuval Harari said, with all the smart technology and the AI technology and the surveillance techniques they have, basically, they're going to be gods. And so I'm sitting there saying to myself, I say, so, we know God. That's my big homie. What can God do? And why they won't be like God? So I'm thinking, they want to go all the way down to your thoughts. They want to know what you're thinking, not what you're saying. Because you can keep your mouth closed and don't say nothing. You can talk like others, but think like different than everybody else. No, they only want you to have an option to think the way you won't think. And this is what I'm going to say to y'all, man. For those people out there who don't understand that this is nothing more than Satan his damn self, man, you missing out. You's a dumb MutherFluffer. And I'm going to say this. If so happen to be that one of you people who work for these MutherFluffers see my video, I'm going to need you to reconsider your whole life's goals. And think about something else to do with your time. Because all you're doing is ushering in destruction. All right. So here we go. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Precognitive crime. Like the movie Minority Report. First of all, thank you guys for bringing to my attention the name of the movie. Couldn't remember the name of the movie. I knew there was a movie and we were talking about it, but here it is.
Dogman has subpoenaed employees' brainwave data from the past year. They have compelling evidence that one of your coworkers has committed massive wire fraud. Now they're looking for his
You done stole some money, in other words.
Co-conspirators. You discover they are looking for synchronized brain activity between your coworker and the people he has been working with. While you know you're innocent of any crime, you've been secretly working with him on a new startup venture. Shaking, you remove your earbuds.
What do you think? Is it a future you're ready for?
No, Trick, it ain't the future I want. So get out my head. That's how the conference started. Now, if you will notice, over here on the right-hand side, consistently, it's that group of people on the right-hand side, this group of lizards, that are always at the middle of this. They're at the heart of it. Right there. See that logo? It start with a W, got an E, got an F, right? And then it says committed to improving the state of the world. All right, you see them, right? So, want to know where Minority Report comes from? Comes from these people. They're the Minority Report people. But no, it get worse than that, y'all. Now, I'm letting you hear what they got to say. And it's important that you hear it in their own words as I talk about what I'm saying. Because I don't want you to sit there and say this thing going in. It's crazy. You're a conspirator. You a conspirator. No, this is not conspirator. This is what these people saying in their own words. Remember, you on the block. We all hanging out. Everybody. I step on somebody's shoes. There's 20 of us out there. Dude get mad. He's like, man, I'm going to get my chopper. I'm about to kill you. Nah, y'all take off running. I'm running behind him. He's not getting to that chopper. This is what we're doing. We running behind them. Everybody else want to run from them. You run up, get close to them. We won't see what you're doing. Make sure you don't get to the chopper. Get to the chopper. Get to the chopper.
Wearable technology, I don't think is going to decode complex thought.
Now, hold on. Let's start here. First of all, I want you to look at this lady. Take a good look. Let's see if I can get the look in her eyes, because you're going to see the same eyes as everybody else.
But it is.
There got my eyes go. The one thing you're going to find in common with all these people is they got soulless eyes. I mean, they really, really do have soulless eyes. It's because they're so bought into this system that they think is going to make them gods. Remember, Urinal Havari was saying, well, how did he say it? He said, humans, what do we need so many humans for? And it's going to be a two-class society. Those who become virtual gods and those who are useless humans. He don't say humans, he says humans. And every word that come out of the man's mouth, he slithers those words out of his mouth with his forked tongue behind. But I want you to observe these people. And then if you don't believe this thing, go on the Ambassador Watch. When you get through watching this video, if somebody in the house with you, what I want you to do is just walk into the other room. If your husband in the other room, walk in the other room, look in your husband's eyes. If your wife in the other room, walk in the room, look in your wife's eyes. If you're listening to this in your earbuds or your headset or whatever, just and you're in the store, just slow down for a second. Look to your left and look to your right, and you're going to see light in people's eyes. You'll see the light of God in people's eyes. And when you look in these people's eyes, you're going to see death. Matter of fact, let me make it bigger so you can see that old death in them eyes. Nothing now. She kind of look a little lizardy, to be honest with you, but I ain't seen her eyes like changing. Y'all watch and see if her eyes change color while she talk. All right, let's get back to it.
Even wearable technology, I don't think is going to decode complex thought, but it is going to decode a lot more. And already, gamers have figured out, for example, while a person is wearing a headset, how to, prime a person through their brainwave activity to be able to decode their PIN number and their home address. So you don't have to have your full complex thought decoded to reveal your thoughts, right? It gets at what we think thought is.
And how?
Now, I'm going to tell you something. From the Stinkonian ambassador to you, thoughts are a connection to God or Creator. That's what it is. It's your connection to the Creator. Point blank, period. And they said they will be virtual gods. Now, here's what they know. See, they know there's a God, and they know they want to be like him, because the spirits and entities that work with them tell them, we was with God. We know how this operates. We know that he's connected to everybody's thoughts. So they sitting there saying, no, we're going to be him. So we into the thoughts of people. Now, if you recall, going back to one of the first videos, remember they had the guy on there that really looked like a chomo, and he had the suit on, he had those real crazy eyes, and they were talking about how they were interested in children and looking into the children. And they was like, we have to figure out how the mind works. Why do you think it's so important to figure out how your thoughts work? Because true control over you is getting control all the way down to your thoughts. If I can control how you think and the way you think and what you do, boy, I control you. And what's happening is the old forms of control don't work anymore. So, somebody getting on the evening news because of social media, that don't work. Nobody don't watch the evening news. Hell, I get more viewers on a live stream on a weekend than CNN Sunday morning news get, point blank, period. So that's dead. The media, the fifth estate, is dead. So they're sitting there saying, no, we're not going to be able to manipulate these useless eaters with this anymore. We got to come up with something better. But this time, we want to make sure they can't get away. We're going to make sure that you ain't got no choice. Yes, sir. That's what these MutherFluffers want. They want you to have no choice. Go on, get back to talking a little bit.
How do you decode somebody's PIN number? You flash a series of numbers and see how their brain reacts to them?
So you have recognition memory signals that are preconscious and subconscious, and this is part of why it's been used, for example, by governments to interrogate criminals.
This is why it's been used to interrogate criminals. Now, I really want to get the rest of her saying this, so hold on. I'll be back. I will be right back. Well, yeah, criminal, because she's a criminal. Where you went? You're going to be on my desktop, criminal. Well, yeah, girl. Where you went, lizard girl? Lizard girl. Denver Airport. People in Costco. Here you go, lizard girl.
Hello, everybody. I'm Nicholas Thompson. I'm the CEO of The Atlantic.
Shut up, Nicholas.
While playing
interface that
what they're paying to the individual worker. We've all heard the whole idea that robots are coming for our jobs, that there will be no...
Pause. Stop right here. Let me say this. Remember what Yura Havari was saying, right? How the humans will be useless. The useless humans, because computers will be able to do better than the humans. You don't just jump from 0 robots to all robots. So watch what she explains to you. If this is how they're going to do it. And I promise you, they're already doing it. But this is how they're going to do it to start off.
Jobs left for humans. With generative AI, I think we have good reason to wonder how we're going to integrate that in ways that keep us relevant and challenged and important in the workplace. But there's a different pathway forward, which is a responsive workplace. One where humans and robots and AI work seamlessly together in order to optimize a better and healthier workplace.
You humans gonna work with robots. Because, all you humans, y'all can't do nothing on your own. We need a robot to tell us how to be more efficient. She gonna explain to you, watch what she tells. So the robot about to be your supervisor. But it's the most pervasive supervisor there is. Everybody's done had a bad boss at work, right? Come to work late, it's been raining, you 5 minutes late because it's storming outside. I'm talking about biblical storm. Noah's Ark is flowing down the street right now. You get to work 5 minutes late and your boss is like, you late. I'm like, yeah, MutherFluffer, I'm late. You don't see they got giraffes swimming outside? You don't see alligators swimming down Canal Street right now? What's wrong with you? I'm sorry. I had a flashback right there, man, from my engineering days. I'm sorry. Let's go. I apologize.
In one experiment, Penn State researchers were able to show that by monitoring brainwave activity with AI in a factory setting, the robot could sense stress levels in the individual and change the speed with which they were giving tasks to the human, calibrating it so that...
What in the hell could go wrong with that? I mean, what could go wrong with that? The robot sensing my stress level and then deciding how much work is going to. In the comments, type what you think can go. I can think of a number of things that can go wrong with that. What if my mind just drifts off to what I was doing last night or what I'm doing tomorrow? You all up in my damn business, way up in my business. And I got to agree to this? I don't think so. I don't think so.
But rather than suffering from cognitive overload, it would bring it to levels of cognitive load. This idea of cognitive ergonomics is what I think is the future of the healthier workplace. A place that adapts to our abilities, slows down when we need to slow down, and helps us to reset so that we don't suffer from endless cycles of stress. In fact, Microsoft recently did a study on employees doing...
Hold on, Mike. Let me say this. I don't know if y'all hearing what this lady's saying to you, but I want you to understand. All right, so just think of it from this perspective. All right. From a Christian perspective, I don't know what you believe. I believe in Jesus. I rose with the one and only Jesus, Yeshua HaMashiach himself. But watch this. So when I'm stressed, I'm aggravated, I'm tired, I'm supposed to turn to the Lord. For the word says, cast your cares and concerns upon the Lord. Right? So what you trying to tell me is, lizard lady, you want your computer, your little computer, you want your computer to be God. So your computer gonna manage my emotions and manage my stress. So I'm never in a state of stress because of a computer. That what you telling me? Hey, that's what I'm hearing. I don't know what y'all hearing, but that's what I'm hearing right now. The computer don't worry. The computer gonna take care of it all. It's your daddy. It's God. It got you. We're not gonna stress you out, even though it's programmed by a human. It's programmed by humans like this. Lizard people and humans.
The pandemic. Using brainwave activity, they were able to discover a couple of interesting insights. One is Zoom-based or other video-based meetings are more tiring for our brains than in-person conversation.
Hold on, how they figured that out? Rewind. So hold on, bro. Did you hear what she just said? They found out during the whamdemic, because everybody got whammed across the head, ran up and bought a whole bunch of toilet paper. Matter of fact, I'm taking the H and the W out of every word moving forward. In the T's. It's not even toilet paper, it's toilet paper. And I'm taking the P out too. It's a yamdemic that people were stressed. Well, hold on. What you trying to tell me is that you was doing this during that time period and it was a test run? So you saying you was testing people back then, MutherFluffer? That's what it sounded like she said to me. Hold on.
To slow down and helps us to reset so that we don't suffer from endless cycles of stress. In fact, Microsoft recently did a study on employees during the pandemic. Using brainwave activity,
Hey, if you work for Microsoft, hey homie, if you work for Microsoft, and I think it's funny, old Billy Gates named his company after the size of his Microsoft. But anyway, nonetheless, the point I'm making to you is this. If you work for them people, they're all up in your business. They're way up in your business. You might want to get another, you might want to start your own company. They're going to do you dirty.
We were able to discover a couple of interesting insights. One is Zoom-based or other video-based meetings are more tiring for our brains than in-person conversations. And this is because of misaligned gaze, because of also the way we've scheduled it. People do back-to-back meetings where you had 5-minute breaks in between. They also discovered something else that's quite interesting, which is that the different backgrounds for each person is also more stressful for the brain. So they introduced together mode, which has the same shared background for each of the people who are on the screen, which brings down stress levels, all responsive to brainwave activity.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. All right, rewind your brain. So let's go back 3-4 years ago. People at the store getting toilet tissue going crazy. You go in the line, people say, you too close to me. You too close to me. Everybody working from home. So what you trying to tell me is, lizard lady, what you saying to the State Gonian ambassador You think we're crazy. What you saying is, during a time period where everybody's immune system needed to be high, and we know that stress lowers the immune system, y'all was stressing people the hell out, even when they was locked up at home. That's what you saying to me, little lady, little lizard lady. I'm starting to think she's a lizard. I'm not gonna go there fully. I'm not gonna call her a lizard 100%. I'm gonna give her, she 30, 90 lizard. All right, let's keep it moving.
These are innovations that can make our lives better.
I want your damn innovation.
Forward? In some ways and in some contexts, surveillance of the human brain can be powerful, helpful, useful, transform the workplace, and make our lives better.
In 0 ways do you need to be surveilling nobody's dang on brain. It's invasive. It screws over people's privacy. It's demonic. It's backwards. It's unhealthy. The simple fact that you can fix your lizard mouth to say that means you ain't human. I don't care how much money they're paying you, girl.
It also has a dystopian possibility of being used to exploit and bring to the surface our most secret self.
Yeah, because y'all want to know the real, they want to know the real self of people. They don't want you to be able to hide from them. They want to know the real you. Yeah. They want to know the secret you. The secret place. They actually want to be able to know your heart, because if you know a person's mind, you truly know their heart.
It threatens fundamentally what our own self-identity is in some ways, and threatens to become a tool of oppression.
All right, so she lined up the pros, she's lining up the cons. Let's see how she swings away from this conversationally. I'm very interested in how she's going to swing away from this and make it all right. Let's listen.
But we can make a choice.
But, here we go, but.
We can make a choice to use it well. We can make a choice to have it be something that empowers individuals, that helps them gain insights into their own mental health and well-being, improves their own productivity and wellness, and sets them on a pathway where, like quantifying your heart rate or other kinds of health, it can be something that unlocks potential for humanity. We can't decode speech, and we may never decode full thoughts from the brain using simple wearable devices. But that doesn't mean that there isn't a lot we can already decode. There isn't a...
Oh, she about to get to the juicy part. She about to tell you what they're doing to you right now. Wait for it. Like it's like, wait for it.
Lot that we will not be able to decode in the coming days. As AI becomes more powerful, as the sensors become more powerful, more and more of what's in the brain will become transparent. I believe we have to start by recognizing a right to cognitive liberty. This is a right to self-determination over our brains and mental experiences. It requires that we update existing international human rights like freedom of thought, mental privacy, and self-determination over our own mental experiences.
Bruh, the simple fact that we got to have a conversation as to whether my thoughts is a part of human rights lets you know that they don't think you human, that you an animal. The simple fact that this even has to be said is a damn problem. And I'm getting ready to go full Sam Jackson. I'm trying my best to hang in there. But I'm getting a headache because this is so dang on demonic that I'm like getting a side headache right here. Because it's just pure on demonic. It's just straight up demonic. But I'm not going to go Sam. Let's keep it moving.
But that's not enough. We have to do more, and corporations have to adopt best practices for
here we go, back to corporations.
The implementation of this technology. That requires being transparent about what data is being collected and for what purposes. Focusing on positive uses for employees.
All right, Trick, I'm done with you with this. Let's get to the next section.
Actually touching your skin, right? Like right now you have to make a choice to put on a headset or a hat or something in your ears. Is it possible that the wife could have it in the ceiling?
Nope. Start over. I got to hear that question. She drunk like a lizard too.
Then oppress us. I think that's a possibility we can still choose. I hope it's one that you'll join me in choosing.
Wow.
The simple fact that each and every one of those humans clapped instead of somebody throwing a bottle of water at this lady disturbs me.
I was monitoring all of your brainwaves, and I could tell that you were all engaged, though most of you were scared out of your socks. Is there any possibility, one of the things that's interesting, is there any possibility that this technology could work while not actually touching your skin? Right? Like right now, you have to make a choice to put on a headset or a hat or something in your ears. Is it possible that the WEF could have it in the ceiling?
No, not for brainwave technology, but it is possible to disrupt brainwaves remotely.
Whoa, Nelly. Did she just say it's possible to disrupt brain waves remotely? Whoa, Nelly, let's get into this.
So you know, if you've heard of Havana syndrome is a belief that people have suffered from. The leading theory is that it's targeted microwave activity at brains to disrupt brainwave activity. There's no proof of it yet, but there's at least a couple dozen cases where there isn't a good explanation for why the individual suffered from disruption of mental abilities. And there's certainly a lot of investment in trying to figure out whether you could target the brain remotely. It's much more difficult to figure out how you could read the brain remotely.
Let's get to that, because I think it's one of the most important and crucial questions about how this develops. And by the way, raise your hands. I'm just going to ask this question, and then we'll move to the audience. You talked at the end. At the beginning, you said we won't be able to read complex thoughts. It seems as though we can understand emotions. There's some way you can recreate some images inside your head. Where does this, explain where we'll be in 1 year, where we'll be in 5 years, and where you would estimate would be in 10 years.
She's definitely a lizard. Y'all saw that eye movement? She's definitely a lizard. I can tell you where they're going to be in 10 years. They're mapping the whole human brain and figuring out how it works so they can put a brain in the dang on robot and call it human. And then they're going to say it has human rights because they have understanding and cognitive reasoning and emotions. It has rights. So therefore, you will be walking down the street and you will not be able to smack the piss out the robot that's right there on the street because the robot has rights. And that robot is going to be taking over your jobs. And just like rougarou said, they don't need as many humans. So in the process of doing that, they're going to be killing off you humans, which is what they're doing right now, in any way, shape, and form possible. And they will have their robots that can do the work for them. That's what this is. It's clear what it is at this point in time. I mean, it's really, really simple. These people are doing, I want to be clear with you, everything that rougarou said, they are doing. Everything that he said, they are doing. Point blank, period. No way around it. Everything he said, they're doing.
And the complexity of thought and emotional understanding that you can have from sophisticated brainwave readers.
So, you know, I am a futurist. I'm not a perfect predictor of the future, but I'll give you my 1 year, 5 year, 10 year. So, focusing in the world of wearable technology as opposed to implanted technology. And I do believe that within many of our lifetimes, we'll see healthy people using implanted brain technology as well. Then we can decode complex thought. But wearable brain technology,
that's already happening right now, thanks to Elon Musk.
I think in 1 year, we will be largely where we are now, but with much better form factor technology. So many companies are launching these earbuds and headphones this year.
So in 1 year, they'll reveal better technology because clearly they already have this. And I want to be clear with you. Just because they're talking about it don't mean that they're working on it. It means it's already done. We've established that when we started off and we was going through DARPA and all the rest of that in the earlier videos. Now, if you haven't watched any of the earlier videos, you should go back and watch them all from the very first lizard person video. And you will understand that I have weaved together seamlessly research on all this. And I refer you back to it instead of me extending the time talking about it more. But let us continue.
Here that have sensors that are built in. One of the things that has limited the widespread adoption of the technology until now has been that you have to wear something like across your forehead. Most of us aren't going to do that. But when it's the same device that you're using to take calls from and also to listen to music from that also is picking up brainwave activity, it's integrated into your everyday life. Because of that, the decoding will largely be in the same place a year from now, but as healthy people in a widespread way start to have their brainwave data collected, the insights that we can gain through pattern recognition will exponentially increase and pretty quickly. So 5 years from now, what we can actually decode will be massively increased from where we are today, simply because we'll have a much greater data set from which we can actually create those correlations.
Bro, these people really do believe we are animals. I mean, they really do believe we're animals. I mean, next thing, literally, think about it. If you're a farmer, anybody who's a farmer, you have cows, right? And you tag your cow with a GPS locator, and you tag your cow with a number on it so you can say it's your cow. I mean, literally what she's just saying is a high-tech tag that they're going to put on humans to be able to read their minds. And she just told you the technology is going to be in the earbuds, but it's going to be integrated. I'm willing to bet. In fact, I'm not going to just bet you. I'm going to go do it. The Stankonia ambassador is willing to bet 5 of his Creole Stankonian women that he was given by the aliens. I disclosed this to you guys already, that I was given 20 Creole women. That was when they were trying to corrupt me and take me over. And I accepted and I admitted it to y'all. I'm willing to bet 5 of my Creole women that if we go and we look at the earpods or AirPods, and we go look at the service agreement, run it through AI and see if it has anything to do with brainwaves, I guarantee you brainwaves are addressed in those agreements right now. And I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Again.
In fact, I'm going to do it tomorrow and I'm going to show you whether I'm right or wrong.
That's frightening but promising, because think about most of neurological disease and suffering are those disruptions of brain activity, which we'll start to be able to pick up. 10 years from now, even wearable technology, I don't think is going to decode complex thoughts, but it is going to decode a lot more. And already, gamers have figured out, for example, while a person is wearing a headset, how to, prime a person through their brainwave activity to be able to decode their PIN number and their home address. So you don't have to have your full complex.
Stop, pause. This is for all you people who got your children running around with that VR headset on. Your children is running around with that headset on, not connected to society, not connected to reality. She talking about y'all. All y'all who got y'all children with that headset, y'all children with that headset. Understand, she talking to you now. Let's just think on it. She telling you what they're doing to you, children.
Thought decoded to reveal your thoughts, right? It gets at what we think thought is.
And how do you decode somebody's PIN number? You flash a series of numbers and see how their brain reacts to them?
So you have recognition memory signals that are preconscious and subconscious, and this is part of why it's been used, for example, by governments to interrogate criminals. Do you recognize this potential co-conspirator? Do you recognize this murder weapon?
Minority Report.
Preconscious signals, like what we call the P300 wave or the N400 wave. These are before you even consciously process information, so you could prime it with a number and then see if a person recognizes it. And you can do it without them realizing that that's what you're doing.
So will all of our passwords be cracked first by this or quantum computing? Hard to tell. All right.
I think we're moving past passwords pretty quickly. And
I saw a hand go up.
It's actually really good for passwords. Neural signatures are unique. We can use it as a biometric for passwords.
Oh, wonderful. Right here in the front. Oh, and by the way, we need to get you a microphone. There are folks watching, so hold on. There we go.
He kind of look like a little lizard too. What I'm about to say is going to be, some people will say it's wrong. But have you noticed that every man that's on these panels look like they never climbed a tree? They look like they never rode a bike when they was a kid. Look like they never went hunting, never went fishing, never had a fist fight. Have you noticed this? Frankly, they all look weak. They really do. And they don't ask any tough questions. They don't say, hey, what made you think that this was a good idea to even do this research? They don't chunk down. It's just, oh, we're all on the same team.
This is amazing stuff.
Thanks.
Oh, it's about to be a terrible question.
There is a ton of need for government rule setting in this.
Yeah.
Not to be pessimistic on it, but having worked in government and seeing the number of things that government needs to try and get ahead of.
Right.
I am pessimistic that government is going to be on this.
Yeah.
Ain't no need to be pessimistic. The government about to exploit it, homie. See, this is where you got to keep it real. This is the Stankonian ambassador in the front row. This is me replying to her. Ma'am, James Williams, Stankonian ambassador, YouTube. How are you today? I'm well. Here's the question I have for you, ma'am. This is going to rely heavily on government regulations. Our government in the United States is full of teenagers who can't pass bills. They don't even know what sex they are. They don't know what bathroom to use. What makes you think that people who don't know which bathroom to use should have access to these kind of tools as a government? That would be my question.
You know, if you were at, for instance, the World Economic Forum, and you were speaking to leaders from across the globe right now, what would your advice be to them in terms of how to not F this up as this continues to go fast?
Thank you. It's an important.
I would tell them not to do it. I wouldn't even phrase that question like that. I wouldn't even phrase it like that. No, sir. No, sir. You just gave her an easy way out. I mean, you literally gave her an easy way out. So this is the problem with these MutherFluffers. I mean, he looked like he might have climbed a tree. You know what I'm saying? He got a nice strong jawline, a little bit of receding hair. Looked like he might have did something with his life. Let's hear our answer, then I'm out of here.
Question. So first of all, I think it's almost impossible to keep up with any kind of regulation with the rate at which the technology is advancing. This title, The Battle for Your Brain, refers to the book that I've written on the same topic. And in it, I propose this right to cognitive liberty as a default starting place. That gives, I think, all of us a starting place for how to think about it, changing the default rules to give people a right to self-determination over their brains and mental experiences. We don't have to wait for human rights to be updated to operate as if we have cognitive liberty.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. See, this is the problem I have with these MutherFluffers. I really do have this problem with you MutherFluffers. It sounds fantastic. But anybody with common sense knows that that ain't gonna work. That it's gonna be exploited. Bring it down to the lowest level. Charlie, Ricky, Bobby. They out there in the streets. They hustling, trying to do what they do. They trying to get paper. You give them a gun that can shoot bullets around corners, and the bullet is going to biometrically turn the corner, go through windows, go through walls, and hit the target. But you say, hey man, you know, I got this new weapon. But I need you to understand something, man. This weapon's so powerful. You know, it could really do some damage to a lot of people, man. So we gotta have rules and regulations on how you gonna use this. But Charlie, Bobby, and Ricky is criminals. And we've established that majority of these people in these governments are criminals. How the hell you got a damn $140,000 a year salary, but you were $15 million? You were a billionaire, and you've been in government for 20 years. So we have established that they ain't no different than Bobby, Ricky, and everybody on the corner. They all the same. Difference is, one of them playing white collar crime. So what you trying to tell me is this. This is what you want to stake on the ambassador to believe, MutherFluffer, that you can give this type of stuff, this access to them type of people, criminal, and they ain't gonna take advantage of it? Oh no. You can put whatever law and rule in place you want. And just like Bobby, Robbie, and Ricky, and Mike, they felons. They still got pistols on them. They know if they get caught, they're going to prison, but they still got the pistols. They know it's going to violate their probation, but they got them pistols. You trying to tell me these entitled people who never get caught, don't never get in no trouble, you going to give this to them and say, oh no, you can't violate human. No, what they're going to do is they're going to find a way to work around your bill and your law. You need to not do this, lady. Nobody needs to do this. This is the Stankonian ambassador. I'm out of here before I lose it.